All right, what's going on, everybody? I would like to welcome you to another episode of the No BS Podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Jordan Pierce, and today we got a special guest that I've been actually trying to get on the podcast for a minute now. Backstory: when I first, before it was even a podcast, when I first tried to, go like the video route of just like doing like a small docu-series, which I am going to eventually do again, but when I was originally trying to do like the docu-series, he was actually the first person I called and was trying to get a part of the docu-series. So this is kind of dope to actually get him on the podcast. Mr. Kev Ryder, what's going on?
How you doing, man? Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No problem, no problem. I appreciate your time. So we're going to get right into it before I pretty much get into all my questions. Why don't you tell the people a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Okay, so my name is Kevin Ryder. A little background about me. I actually went to Delaware State University. I got my bachelor's in mass communications with a concentration in public relations and advertising. After that, I went on to Rowan University to get my master's degree in public relations and also new media and ING. So basically, I'm from Bridgeton. I grew up going to Bridgeton Public Schools. I went to Fairfield Township Middle School, and then I went on to Cumberland Regional High School. I created a lot of bonds along the way, a lot of networking opportunities. I met a lot of people that I've been able to use to this day. So along with that, to say, I started a digital PR company known as Wrench Communications and also a photography business known as Jennifer's Photography. And pretty much the synopsis about that is the digital PR agency. I'm actually going to be the first digital PR agency in Cumberland County and also the first Black-owned digital PR agency in South Jersey. And I really want to bring more business opportunities to those areas and make people aware of the business and entrepreneur mindsets that people have around here. And also for the photography aspect, I'm already doing event photography, so I'm going, the commercial route with that, as in, we're going to get contracts with schools and different sports programs so that we can take professional photos for those people as well. So just branching off into different things and keeping my entrepreneur mindset alive, man.
That's what's up, man. That is what's up. Shout out to all them degrees you got, brother. That's crazy. First and foremost, that's crazy. So, all right. So let's take a step back. What got you started in this route? Did you when you went to college? Is this something that you've always wanted to do, or is this something that you just kind of fell into?
In high school, I was real sociable and outgoing, so I automatically will build bonds with people and networking opportunities. I would get jobs just from knowing people, or I would be able to hook people up with jobs, and I was just known for helping people out, and vice versa. People would help me out just because of the spirit that I have and the mindset that I have with being a go-getter and always getting what I wanted. So when I went to college, I was, hesitant. I started off with sports management because I wanted to be a sports agent. And, I really wasn't into it. And, I talked to one of the advisors over in the mass communications department. Her name is Dr. Francine Edwards. And I talked about her a lot because, man, she was like my mother on campus. She made sure that I did everything I had to do to develop that PR mindset. And she's the reason why I switched my major over to PR, and I fell in love with it from there, man.
That's what's up. So what do you think, were you always that sociable kid, or that just started in high school?
I was social because, playing sports and people knowing me from that, and I was never I was always cool. I was easy to talk to, especially in grade school. I had people that come up to me now oh, we went to Cherry Street School together. We went to Goldtown Middle School together. So, I've always been that guy where, I wasn't the type of person you'll have to hesitate to come talk to, or, somebody I was always looking out for people. And, I would get that energy from people because it was easy for me to vibe with them. So it was something I always had a knack for, just always being around business-minded people as well, like my mentors, people that advised me to go to college, advised me to take the SATs as a sophomore in high school, stuff like that. So,
That's what's up. So it's kind of just more like a natural ability to just be with the people and talk to people and stuff.
Yeah, I have a lot of family, so it's just a lot of my family went to college and did other things. I'm not like a first generational college grad or nothing like that. So
okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. What made you choose to go to Dell State?
my aunt went to Dell State, my cousin went to Dell State, so like it's a family thing. Like I had one cousin that recently graduated from Dell State, and I had two more cousins that's at Dell State, so it's like a family tradition.
True. That's
I
what's
got
up.
accepted into Morgan State and UMES as well, but I chose Dell State.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, both my parents had went to Dell State. They ain't finished, but they went there.
Oh, well, they still a Hornet. They still a Hornet.
Word. They went there. Yeah, my mom played softball at Dell State back in the day.
Wow.
So yeah,
Man, it's a small world. I didn't know that. Man.
Yeah, and it's crazy because like sidebar, it's crazy because when I was applying, when I was about to graduate and I was like applying to schools and stuff like that, like my junior and senior year, Dell State was not on my list only because both her and my dad was like, no, you cannot go to Dell State. I was like, yo.
You have to be mentally tough because there's so many distractions. So it's like you can easily get caught up and wrapped around. But if like I was known for like going to the library, and I used to get laughed at about it because everybody had a party mindset, and I was like, nah, I gotta get my work done. Like I can't let my mom or my grandmom down because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't even be there.
I feel you. Yeah, I was just about to ask that too, cause like they knew how I was, so I could understand why they wouldn't want me to go there. However, they let me go to West Virginia University, which is a bigger university. Exactly, it's like top party school. I'm like, bruh. So like, how did you manage? I know for me it was hard. Like granted, I went in to college. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I thought I wanted to be a forensic accountant. That vetoed real quick. I took my first accounting class. It wasn't hard. It just was boring as hell. I'm gonna keep it 100. So like I was like, I don't see myself doing this for the rest of my life. So after that, and then on top of that, me not playing football, like, cause that was like my dream, and like I've always been like surrounded by sports, so like that kind of kept me in school. Like I had so much, being that I didn't know what I wanted to do, all the free time in the world, a huge campus, nothing but parties Monday through Saturday. Like I'm gonna be 100. I couldn't stay focused. So, how did you stay focused? I know you said you stayed in the library and stuff like that, but like, was that from like day one, or was like, I kind of had a balance? You know what I mean? Like, how did you manage that?
Man, it was an up and down battle, man. Like my freshman year, I did amazing. I was there, I was focused. Like you come in your freshman year and you like, oh, everybody going to class, going to school. Like I was into that, and then my sophomore year, I just started flopping. I would go to party after party, be out, not really caring about school. I'd do last minute projects, not really participating in group projects. Oh man, the whole nine. And then I got a wake up call because I was getting like straight A's, and then I had like the worst semester ever. And I'm not afraid to talk about it because it made me who I am. And I had like a 1.7 GPA, and they dropped my GPA down from like a 3.6 to a 2.8.
Wow.
Yeah, and like my mom was like, yo, I'm paying too much for you to go there. Like, you're not doing good. What you gonna do about it? And it's crazy because I was working at the movies across the street at the mall, so I was more focused on money than school at the time. So
gotcha.
That's really why my grades flopped. It wasn't even that I slacked off. I just would go work doubles. And my junior year, I just started making the dean's list again. I got focused again, and like I just learned from my lessons. Some people don't learn from their lessons, like. And I was able to flip that switch off, like, all right, Kev, you gotta get it together. You gotta do this the right way because you're letting people down that really counting on you, investing in you, stuff like that. So
that's what's up. So, what year, I guess you could say, in college did you switch to? You switch your major?
I would say the end of my sophomore year.
So, did that? I know you said like your junior year you started making deans again. Do you think the switch had anything to do with you kind of getting back on track?
I think so because my heart just wasn't into sports management no more. And it's crazy because I always play sports and stuff. So that's why I feel like it was just my fate, because I was into sports and I wasn't interested in sports management. But once I got the PR, it was like everything started clicking for me. So.
Got you. Talk about that. How was when you first got introduced into like the PR and started, and you switched your major and stuff like that? How was like that initial, how did you like really, really know like, okay, this is exactly what I want to do?
Because like we used to be big on social media, and like one of my first classes was like, and it's crazy because this is back when social media first really started jumping off.
Mm-hmm.
Like my freshman year in college, Facebook was just a straight college professional site. It wasn't like nothing like it is now. So it was like I started seeing everything evolve. So like by the time I was a junior, Facebook was jumping, Instagram was starting to come out, Twitter was already out. Like Twitter was live. Like
yeah.
Twitter was everything back then. We talking like 2009, 2010.
Yeah.
And people, you would think like the way social media is now, you would think social media been out for decades.
Very true. Very true.
You know what I'm saying? It's only been out since like I was on MySpace my junior and senior year in high school. MySpace came out in like 05, 06.
Yeah, I was in middle school. Yep, I was in middle school with MySpace. Yeah.
So like y'all really got like the whip of everything. Y'all was able to enjoy social media in high school. We didn't really have that, or cell phones.
Yeah,
so
true.
It was like,
true.
You know what I'm saying? So by the time I'm a junior, we taking this social media class, and like I'm learning about, like they teaching me stuff I already know, and I'm like teaching them stuff like, well, you can do your analytics and da 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 da. So ended up being where I was teaching people in the class how to use social media. Like people that wasn't advanced, and I'm like, hold up. Like you would think y'all don't know about Facebook, y'all know about Twitter, like y'all know how to use like the hashtags on Twitter to build, like they just get on Twitter and start talking. They don't know how to build up their, like I'm like, yo, you really could make money off of this. Like we started talking about making money off of YouTube back in like 2010, really before that even evolved, really before rappers and stuff started getting on there and making millions off YouTube and stuff like that. So it was like I really just fell in love with it just off of the conversations we would have in class about social media and the evolution of it. And now to see where it's at now, it's like, dang, like we really predicted a lot of this stuff.
It's crazy that you say that too. I don't mean to cut you off, but it's crazy that you say that because, like, yeah, you got a few years on me. So like, I know when Facebook came out, I want to say I was in like 7th, 8th grade, or like 7th, 8th grade, maybe freshman in high school, like 8th, 9th grade, something like that. So like Facebook was pretty much like the thing, you know what I mean? Twitter was coming out, stuff like that during high school. But it's funny because I'm not gonna say nobody, but I would say like probably the majority of us that were in high school at the time weren't even looking at it like that. We was legitimately looking at it just like a media platform. Like, oh, this is dope. Like I can put, like, it's so crazy how like same thing is happening, same time frame. You're a little older, so like you're thinking a little different. You know what I mean? A little more mature and stuff like that. And you see it as this, and I see it completely different. I think that's so crazy, yo.
Yeah, it's just how the world turned, man. Everybody different age, like. And now, as you get older, you start to see how your parents and stuff think, how older people think. Like,
yeah.
They look at us like, oh, y'all, this what y'all doing now? That back in the day, like. So yeah, man, definitely.
That's crazy. So you switched your major. You found pretty much your passion, which you just had a knack for. You love the PR thing. What made you choose I want to start my own firm rather than let me go join somebody else's? What clicked that?
I was working for a company for like 3 years, and I had worked my way up to the ladder to where I was like the benefits coordinator in HR, and I just hated it. And I'm like, man, I'm really like, and at the time I was going for my master's in PR, so I'm like, I'm really like settling for this. And it was hard. Like this area is hard to get an intern, like not really a good internship, but it's hard to get like a good job in PR. You got to either go to like New York, DC. You got to travel for it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like Philly's not really a PR city. It's more of a like an IT city. There's a lot of like IT technology and stuff going on. So I was like, man, like I'm not getting no type of answers back from these applications I'm putting in, stuff like that. How am I going to build any experience? Like, what am I going to put on my resume? Like, how am I going to actually get a good job in PR eventually? And at the time, and rest in peace, this is when I started following Nipsey. He used to talk about like scarcity and how you need to bet on yourself and respect your value, stuff like that. Mind you, it's like 2013, 2014. So I just started like coming out with like different ideas, and I actually started a brand called KLR brand, and it was just gonna be like this big sports blog, South Jersey sports blog, and I was like, nah, that's not enough. So I shut it down. And then I actually went to LA for 12 days. I was in Hollywood Hills, and I was working with a designer named Modish. His name Tay Modish on Instagram.
Oh yeah, I heard of him.
Yeah, so I was working with him. I was doing some of his graphic design work for his logo and everything like that. And I was out there for 12 days, and that's where I actually made my logo for like my brand. And like I actually started like coming out with like pricing and like it took me to step out of my environment to know my work, because I was getting like opportunities out there just off of freelancing.
That's a bar. It took me to step out of my environment to know my work. Look at that. That's crazy. So basically you was in the PR world. You climbed your way up. So you actually, how long did it take you to climb your way up? Let's take a step back. How long did that take you?
Like 2 years.
Okay.
Like 2 years to actually know my work, to even bet on myself to get to that point, because I was more in a student mindset. But I had that KLR brand. I still was in an entrepreneur mindset at the same time, because I had like a little sports blog that I had came out with at the time.
Okay. So, would you say that that experience was beneficial, or would you say that was kind of like not I don't want to say a waste of time, but for lack of better terms, yeah.
It was definitely beneficial. I look at it as it's bittersweet, because sometimes I do look at it as a waste of time, but then other times it's like, all right, this is because working in HR, it helped me develop also more of a stronger business mindset, because now I know how to run different sectors of the business.
Gotcha.
So I look at it as a way of I have to take advantage of what I know from that, but I also look at it like, dang, if I would have started 2-3 years earlier, where would my business be now? So, I try to take the good instead of the bad, so I try not to harp on that. But
I got you. Hey, yeah. Stride for stride, you know what I mean? You gotta take it easy. Okay, so you started the sports blog. How long did you have that up before you decided that wasn't the route you wanted to go?
For about 4 years.
And what made you kind of just say, oh, that's not enough? Like, you just didn't like it anymore, or you just kind of just wanted to do something completely different?
I was working with a lot of high school kids that was on their way to college, and I was at a block because, once they get to college, you can't really do a lot of media on them. They have to pretty much take the media, whatever media their football program is giving them.
Yeah.
So it's like, I couldn't really do nothing with them at that point. So it's like, dang, like, how am I going to like maintain this sports blog if I'm not able to get the people that I've been working on and keep their story going? So, and then I had to step back also, because I'm at the same time I'm still in my master's program, so I'm steady learning. So now I'm like focusing on crisis communications. I'm focusing on writing grants. I'm focusing on marketing itself and graphic design. So now I'm getting more into the versatility of the field, and I'm starting to understand that, okay, I have this talent, I have that talent. I started picking up on graphic design like nothing. So now I'm able to market someone's business. So that's what really made me come out with Wrench Communications.
Gotcha. So how long has Wrench Communications been operational?
Wrench Communications has been operational for about going on 2 years.
And this was after, did you get this idea, was this after you went to LA or before?
No, it was going on before. Like, I had everything going on, but when I went went to LA, I actually started implementing my ideas and stuff like that.
Okay. How was that trip?
Oh man, it was amazing. Just being out there was surreal, and being able to work and be around certain business minds and getting things done that I didn't even know I was capable of. So I'm really starting to see like how, because you're doing certain things, like I'm doing logos, stuff like that, and then when you're asked to do something on the spot and you're able to provide that, now you're like, oh wait, like I didn't know I was capable of that. So you start building more confidence in yourself. So that's what really that trip did for me. It helped me build my confidence, and it helped me learn that everybody's on the move. So out there, it's like people are months and years ahead of you because they've been thinking how you're thinking now for about 10 to 12 years before you. So you're you're behind the game. They're ahead of the game. So how you gonna catch up? And being out there, it's like everybody's making money, everybody's making moves, there's opportunities left and right. So the environment is just bananas. So it's like, how are you gonna step up to the plate? How you gonna? It's not even about being a follower or fitting in, but how is your business gonna stand out so you next up?
True. I like that. So would you say that trip, kind of, you said like you had to get out of your environment, you know what I mean, change your environment to realize your worth. Would that trip is that like pretty much sparking like you want to travel more, you know what I mean? Like is that gonna to where you're not just here, or you just kind of or is that gonna be like a place that you just go back to, just LA, you know what I mean, LA, or are you gonna try to venture out other places?
Man, it's crazy because I just recently came back from LA again, and I went to Cancun before. Like I went to Cancun before I went to LA. I travel a lot. I've always been traveling since a little kid because of my mom. She's like big on traveling, so I've always been grateful to have that opportunity to be able to travel, see the world. But it was crazy because I just went back to LA, and I had went to a concert at the Staples Center. It was Migos, Cardi B, stuff like that. It's BET weekend, so I was doing a lot of networking out there, photography and stuff like that. And there was a food truck across the street, and I'm trying to remember the food truck name, and I can't. And I hope you forgive me. I hope you don't charge it to my heart, just my mind. But this guy put my business card in his window on his food truck next to his menu. So like right now, my business card is across the street from the Staples Center.
That's crazy.
Yeah, bro, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's real big promo, so that's what's up. But throughout this whole process, though, what was your motivation? Like, what kept you going throughout the whole time? Because I know it can't be easy. That's just life. Life always hits you, even when you're doing everything right. So what was the motivation behind it?
What really kept me motivated throughout my whole process was just that I had a lot of family depending on me. I had a lot of big shoes to fill. A lot of my aunts and cousins went to school before me, so it wasn't like I was a first generational college grad or anything like that. So I really had big shoes to fill. Everybody was counting on me, and I really had a drive since a little kid to, want to be more than just average. Being where I'm from, just a lot of poverty and a lot of things that went on, when I was a kid. So I just wanted to, beat all the statistics, make sure that everything that I had going on was aligned with, what I wanted to do.
Okay. So like a lot of motivating factors, but I like how it's surrounded by basically people in your family, people around you, kind of set the bar high, and kind of set a standard, and then also in combination with you wanting to be better and do better. I think that's like the perfect combination for like a successful person is being around the right people. So being around the people to set the standards, to pretty much set the bar kind of high, so you got expectations to kind of live up to, but on top of that, your goals have to be aligned with those expectations as well. So that's interesting, that because you don't find that too often in people, as far as like it's either one or the other. Either the expectation is high but it's not what they want to do, or the expectation ain't high but they still want to try to achieve more, so it makes it that much harder. So that's dope that you got a little bit of both. But Before we get out of here, I ain't gonna hold you no more. I like to kind of end with basically my version of asking you what is your perfect day. So basically what No Bottom Shelf is basically just living your life to the fullest the way you want to live. Not having to answer to nobody, pretty much doing whatever you want to do in your perfect world. And it's just like the No Bottom Shelf lifestyle. That's what I'm trying to create. So give me the perfect day in your No Bottom Shelf lifestyle.
So a perfect day in a no bottom shelf lifestyle for me would just be pretty much to be a full-time entrepreneur, to be able to set a goal, a money goal for the day, and be able to exceed that goal, not being capped by a job saying, hey, you only make a certain amount a year, and also just having that work-life balance so that I can pick my kids up from school, spend time with my wife, and being able to live the life I want to live and how, I want my kids to grow up and how I want them to follow the footsteps so that they could be successful.
Yeah, man, that's dope. That's dope. Well, y'all heard it from the man himself. We ain't gonna hold you no more. Appreciate your time, Mr. Kevin Ryder, ladies and gentlemen. Real quick, tell the people where they can find you.
And you guys can find me on Instagram. My name is CEO Presidential on Instagram. You also can find me on Facebook, Kevin Ryder Jr. In addition, we have a Wrench Communications LLC Facebook page. We also have a WrenchCom Twitter page, and we also have our Instagram page, which is Wrench_Communications. In addition, we have Jennifer's Photography, which you can also find on Instagram as well. So please add us on those pages. If you have any questions or concerns, please contact us so we can help you get to the next level with your business, or that we can help promote events that you're having by coming out, taking photos and so forth. And thank you in advance.
Well, we'll follow the man. Appreciate your time again. Thanks for taking the time out. I know you're busy. We're going to be having you on the podcast again very, very soon. So I'll see you guys next week. Peace.